Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Woodshop. This is Arlene once again. I want to share something with you that my family got for me just recently. It's an electric fireplace for my camper studio here at the farm. It's a 1500 watt heater. It has the fake flame and the embers in it. You can run it without the heat. It is a hot summer day today, and it's running just fine. It uses a light bulb to create that, and I thought the flames look really wonderful, so I want to thank my family for getting that for me. The one thing that I want to share with you today is about doing carving shows. Some of you realize that I'll be going to the Frankenmuth show in October. A lot of us don't know how to do a show or never did a show before, and I'm going to explain. I tried this last week and somehow the video did not turn out correctly the last time I had done it. So I'm doing it now on video. I'll still have the question and answers once a week. But somebody had asked me about doing shows, and I thought it might be a good idea to go over some of the things that you'll need. The first thing you have to determine if you're doing an outdoor show or an indoor show. If you're doing an outdoor show, then you have to have some kind of tent or something to protect you from the elements. If you have a tent, and that's great. You can use one of those pop-up tents. They work well. The one I had bought for the Hay Creek Festival a couple of years ago was a tent that all the sides you could zip up. And the nice thing about that is if you have to leave your tent, say to go to the restroom or get something to eat, and you're doing that show by yourself, like I did a lot of my shows, then you can zip up the sides, close it off, and go get what you want. One of the things that I really am gravitating to is not the outdoor shows anymore. It would be the indoor show. It all depends what you're doing too. If you're doing a craft show or a wood carving show, you're not going to get as much money most likely for your pieces as you would for some of the other stuff that you do. But one thing that you got to remember is you have to bring tables if you're doing an outdoor show. That won't be provided. But if you do a carving show and strictly stick with a carving show, they usually supply the tables and the chairs when you pay for it. And then what happens after that is you end up getting the table that's usually 8 foot long, and then you have to supply the covers to go all the way down to the floor so you can put your stuff underneath if you need to, you know, put things away neatly underneath that people can't see what's underneath the table. So that usually require that you have the cover from the top to the bottom of the table. Another thing you want to remember is to bring your carvings and how do you display it? Well, I use what's called the foldable bookcases. They work really well. They lay flat in the car. You take them out, you unfold them, and you put them up. There's none of this assembling anything. It's very quick, very easy to do, and that's what I usually do when I go to a show. I used to have one, now I have 3. You can set one up in a corner, like one facing out and one facing across. That way you have your end piece and the front piece that you can show, and then in the back of those two you can put your bags and things that you need or extra stuff that you kind of want out of sight. Every show is a little different. Every show is different whether you're doing a craft show or whether you're doing a wood carving show. Your table covers, your carvings, make sure you have signs made up. Try to have them printed out, not handwritten out, so people can read them. I think it looks a little more professional. Get business cards out, brochures out. I find a lot of times carvings do not sell as well at a carving show. You usually draw their carvers to it, and they're usually thinking of new ideas. You might do better at a craft show or a holiday show. I do one show that I will probably do this year. It's called the Apple Fest. I haven't at Hay Creek. I will not be doing Hay Creek, but I am going to the Frankenmuth show. And because of how far away it is, I am very limited what I can take along in the car. So I'm not going to do the full show like I would normally do here in Lancaster. I usually have 2 tables. Up there I'll have only one. It's a one-day show. It's on 21st of October, and it goes from 10 until 4. And it's a one-day show. You set up, you do your show, and then you're done for the day. They have a nice little competition, so if you're a wood carver and you've not gone to a show, this is a good place to go to. It's a relatively small show, but when I went last time it was a small show. I think we had 50-some tables. I heard the last year that I didn't go, they had about 70 tables. So, you know, go to a show, you'll get all kinds of information, and you can watch demonstrations. They have usually a drawing of an hourly drawing that they read off a number that people get a ticket when they enter the building. There's a lot you can learn from going to a show, so don't hesitate going to one. If you haven't done it before and you say, oh, I'm not that good in my car, go anyway, because what you're doing is unique. Most people that come to a show, a lot of them are wood carvers, but many of them are from the community and from the surrounding areas, and they really want to know more about carving, and if they like your stuff, they might contact you later through a business card to get some things from you. So don't say I'll never do a show. I did a lot of shows in one year. I did the Frankenmuth show, I did our Lancaster show, William Rush, I'm trying to think which one, I'm trying to remember, the Delaware Valley, and I did the Ontario show. I did 5 to 6 shows. Then I did Hay Creek, I did at the Apple Fest, and I'm telling you folks, it's a lot of work. A lot of planning goes into doing a show. Not only for us that set up, but also for the people that put the show on. You have to remember those people, those show chairman people that absolutely run the show and make sure people come and make sure this is done and that done, the tables are up, and that they rent the hall and things get paid, and you know, the whole program doesn't run by itself. There are people behind the scenes that create that. So if you have a local show to go and support it. It really is important to do that. Alright, so don't hesitate to go to a show, and hopefully I'll see some of you at Frankenmuth. Take care. Bye-bye.